Alright, welcome to Severe Weather live coverage. We're currently tracking a potential tornadic circulation that's near Tampa Bay right now. Looks like the circulation's not as well defined as it was when it was over St. Petersburg and as it initially came on shore. Let's see if we had any tornadic with it. Nope, that's just inflow. We currently have a damaging squall line moving across Florida with reports of damaging wind gusts and a tornado. And I'll switch over to my other GR2 window to show y'all this likely significant tornado that ended up happening where the Jacksonville radar would normally read, but it was out of commission. So let's go put this back a couple scans. We have the supercell near Crescent City. Right about here, it puts down a tornado with a huge CC drop, moves off eastward, and it's still on the ground at this point, and it's still on the ground, and still on the ground, and it moves offshore. This supercell likely produced a strong tornado given the fact that we're looking up 10,000 feet and we saw a huge CC drop up here. So it's probable that this thing lofted debris of 10 to maybe 20,000 feet in the air. Probably more like 15,000 feet would be a good guess. We currently have a strong squall line about to move into Melbourne. We also have an enhanced risk of severe weather today. Main hazards for today are gonna be a few tornadoes and then numerous damaging wind gusts are gonna be possible as well. So those are gonna be the main hazards for today. Currently we are looking for watching out for the potential for some severe weather, of course. We might do a little bit of forecasting as we get into the intermediate range. It looks like severe weather is going to come back into the picture, so that's going to be something to watch out for. Let me just get a link for this real quickly here. There's also severe weather happening in the Carolinas right now too. Um, Looking at the new scan from the Tampa Bay Radar, um, we likely have a tornado or water spout ongoing. Let me switch it over here to show y'all. But yeah, we likely now have a water spout ongoing right there. It's just east of the St. Petersburg area. Um, but yeah, that's our current situation here. But yeah. Looks like the circulation's kind of dying off, but we can just look at this thing and look and kind of see its evolution there. Looks like there's a radar glitch with the newest scan. Um, Ooh, there's a circulation near West Bradenton. Large severe thunderstorm warning overall, though. What the hell did that do? Nice circulation right now. near West Brandonton, right here. How do I get rid of, no, we're not measuring from the radar right now. Let's go take a look at the airport radar here out of not New Orleans, out of Orlando for a second here. Kind of just look at the storms that we have ongoing there. Currently, we have, how do I get this to 42 panels? Okay, up here. Currently, we have a squall line moving through this area. Primary hazard is going to be 60-mile-an-hour wind and a possible tornado. We have these embedded circulations within the line over here that are going to potentially produce a tornadic situation across the region. Doesn't look that great though right now. Let's go switch over to the Tampa Bay kind of regional. We're also going to take a look at North Carolina as well, briefly. Not briefly, but overall here. So I'm going to get another radar window up for that. There's a lot of spots. Ooh, there's a lot of severe warnings in North Carolina right now. We're going to jump from radar to radar here in North Carolina right now. First, we're going to start off with Wilmington, North Carolina, and kind of give you the rundown with that area really quickly here. Okay, so across Wilmington, North Carolina here, let me just get onto my GR2 window. We currently have a long line of severe storms, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts reported in Myrtle Beach. Currently have an area with warnings of 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. Another warning here for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. Maybe a nice circulation too in there. Now we're gonna take a look at the Moorhead City radar and look at those storms. These storms is a huge severe warning for the Outer Banks for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts again. After that, we're going to take a look at the Florida terminal radar as we have a nice Qlcs kind of moving right through where the radar beam is super low. And there's some really bad tornado damage in on Ocala, Florida. That's not good at all. No injuries have been reported, but I can see roofs and everything all over the streets. Not a good thing at all. That's not a good situation there. I wouldn't show them because I'm not sure what copyright is with that stuff, but we have the Moorhead City, North Carolina radar up, and looks like there's a circulation near Aurora. Looks like we have a tornadic circulation there near Aurora, North Carolina. Let me just set storm motion from a warning here. Oh yeah, there's a nice little circulation there near Moorhead. We also have a lot of damaging wind gusts with this storm. And we also look further north. We have multiple severe warnings going across North Carolina right now. Possible tornado with this one. Let's take a look at that. Right along the warm front. So this storm that's tornado possible warn. There's a circulation, it looks like, right by South Mills. And yeah, that would be the case here. There's a circulation by South Mills. Although it's not great, it's something to watch. Moving forward here. 60. Oh, let's look at this storm. Nice rotation with that too. So we have not a lot of rotation with these storms. Mainly wind gusts though. And a lot of wind. Let's switch back to the Florida terminal radar. Maybe we'll switch back to... Let's switch back to the Melbourne radar if I can find it. There you go. Okay, Melbourne. Let's kind of scroll up here, see if we have anything going on. Looks like there's a supercell right here. Not a tornado, though, right now, so that's good. Let me switch over to the Tampa Bay terminal. Okay. Oh, look at the top right there. Look at that. Let me switch. Multiple circulations also on the Tampa Bay Radar that are currently in the water. That's going to be affecting the Tampa Bay Metro shortly. Let me just... Oh, wow. That is not a good situation. We probably have two big-time waterspouts ongoing just south of the land in Tampa. These will escalate onshore very quickly, very soon. That's not a good situation there. Wow. Okay. Two tornadoes are likely ongoing with this now. Oh yeah, you can just see the loop. Looks like these things are going to move onshore very shortly here. Not a good situation if you're in the Tampa Bay metro area. You need to be taking your tornado precautions. Mainly areas like Ampelo Beach, Gibson, Progress Valley, Riverville, Palm River, Tampa, Orient Park. Those areas you need to be taking your tornado precautions. As we have a nice supercell embedded within this line right here. SBC just released a mesoscale discussion. Damaging wind gusts in a tornado 2 are possible over the next couple of hours. Let me get a sounding from Tampa Bay about an hour ago. Here you go. Let me just switch over to my Discord real quick. So that is a sounding from the Tampa Bay area about an hour ago. And as you can see here, you have ample amounts of instability with almost 2,000 joules per kilogram of cape, deep layer shear at 50 knots, which is not that terrible, and decent lapse rates as well, with some solid 0 to 1 kilometer SRH, but not very much turning throughout the atmosphere. That thing is gonna hit places on shore soon too. Hopefully it doesn't recycle. Let's see here. Anything? A couple strong circulations here in the Carolinas to monitor. Is that a tornado? No. Okay. Pike Road, Fairfield. You guys have a severe warning with a tornado possible tag. So just make sure. Um, Let me switch to another radar here. That one. All right. Let's go back in here and look. Let's go a little bit further in here. Likely have a tornado about to hit shore or water spout right here. It's gonna hit some islands very shortly. New severe thunderstorm warning for Orlando, tornado possible. And also here, I'm gonna show you guys a radar image of that tornado from earlier. Let me This is courtesy of Emok Weather or Ethan Mock on Twitter. Let me just. He has a screenshot of what happened earlier. There you go. There's the tornado that impacted Ocala. Ocala. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but you can just see um pretty significant. A big time CC drop on the south side of town with a nice velocity circulation there as well. Why is this thing white? Okay, there we go. So that is your tornadic circulation. And looking at the new scans with those water spouts, it's probably not on the ground anymore. Rotation has weakened a lot more, so. Let's take a look at the regular Tampa Bay Radar now, and not the terminal, just to get a general view of kind of the general region. Okay, so here you go. And oh, we probably have a tornado now on the ground near Apollo Beach. Just literally just came on shore. Yeah, that is definitely a tornado. Yep, that's definitely a tornado on the beach probably at this point. We'll have a CC drop next scan most likely. Oh shoot, I didn't realize I'm still sharing my Twitter screen. Let's switch her over to there we go. There's your possible tornado about to hit on shore. And the Tampa Bay 12Z sounding was nuts. It had 2000 surface gate with 400 SRH in the low levels. It was pretty dry, but the lap states were terrible. But and also, we have a supercell near embedded supercell near Jacksonville, North Carolina. If this thing can kind of surge itself and give itself inflow, it might produce a tornado as well, which we'll have to watch out for. Let me just see if that's on the ground. Nope. Okay, so that probably did not come on shore as a tornado, most likely, given that it's not getting a CC drop registered right now, which that is a good thing. Still have a large line of storms to watch in Florida, though. Okay, let's look at the Tampa Bay Radar again. Let's kind of go see what's happening here. Might be a little something right there. Not too significant. If I do not notice a tornado here on radar quickly, or notice that something is kind of ramping up, we might end this here and it'll be a more shorter thing, because I got a bunch of stuff to do today, so yeah. Looks like that might be the case. We're not getting very many people on here either. So this might be the end of it here soon. Hello. I mean, I've only been going for 20 minutes, but yeah. That'll do it though. It was a quick live stream for today. Kind of a surprise one because I didn't think I was gonna do it in the morning. Had a tornado for a bit. Had probably a bunch of water spouts, but right now, I think we will probably end this one. So, I will see y'all the next time I'm available to do this, which probably will be in a couple weeks when we get um more troughs to come in. I mean, there's gonna be. I mean, we could talk about the severe weather in a couple for Saturday here, kind of quickly. Yeah, why don't we do that before we kind of end this thing and call it done? Let's kind of go in here and look at the potential for severe weather coming up later this week. Let me just kind of put the windows so it's basically just showing you the model data. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at the NAM 3 kilometer model first off. Yeah, that's gonna be the first thing we're gonna look at. Let me just put it over here. Look at the environment first off. Mesoscale analysis, nice. But we're gonna look at the NAM 3 kilometer. We'll put it to about 21Z. First off, we'll talk to you about day 3. We have a severe weather risk for places like Dallas, Shreveport, Lufkin, Waco, Plano, Garland, and Mesquite, Texas. And large hail and wind are going to be the main threats, but we cannot rule out an isolated tornado. Day 4, I'm a bit surprised the SPC issued a 15% on this yesterday, but there is a risk for some severe weather. And then day 6 through 8, it looks like there's going to be another severe weather event, potentially further than the 8 period, but we'll talk about that in a second here. So let's zoom into kind of the Texas region here. So 21Z, we're not really expecting anything. 23Z, it looks like some storms start to fire here in kind of eastern Texas on the NAM 3-kilometer model. And that environment is just not going to do it. Yeah, that's not very good. Okay, it looks like everything kind of fires here at 0Z. And this environment's not great off the NAM 3-kilometer. I mean, when we switch it over to the NAM model, it looks a little bit better. We have more... Yeah, it looks a lot better when you switch it over to the NAM. I mean, your shear... This is a perfect hail day. Also, the sounding is not entirely favorable for tornadoes. It's not like particularly favorable for tornadoes, but you definitely could get tornadoes out of it. So that will be something to kind of monitor with this. This is mainly going to be a hail day in my opinion, but you cannot rule out an isolated tornado, given the fact that you're going to have some nice shear profiles. Now, once you hit 3Z, it's going to be a very short window for tornadoes. I think large hail and wind is not a very short window at all, but a more short window for tornadoes. I mean, this is still pretty solid, and it'll give you a tornado threat. Nice lapse rates, too. Thick cape profile, but a more low-top day out there in the plains. As we get towards 6Z, it looks like this risk mainly becomes wind and hail oriented as your surface sensitivity becomes very low, and you start to get more of an elevated sounding profile. Now let's kind of traverse this over to the southeastern United States region. We'll kind of look at that day 4, 15%. So across Louisiana, there's potential for severe weather. I'm kind of surprised. I'm not really surprised they trimmed it from Louisiana. Doesn't look great anymore. Maybe 12Z looks not bad. Let's see. No, that's awful. That's buttons. Okay, but once we get to 18Z, it looks like some instability starts to come on shore in Florida. The profiles are just awful. They're not very good. I would not be entirely surprised if the SPC this dropped the slight down to a marginal on day 3. This does not look great at all. Maybe isolated wind gusts and a brief tornado, but it looks pretty trash in my honest opinion. I mean, that's just not going to do it. That's not good at all. But as we get into more of the longer range pattern here, let's kind of look over the GFS because there's potential for a couple really nice storm systems to kind of come in here later in the week here. Not this week, but next week. So there's your first system, isolated severe event. Nothing significant is expected with that, though. Nice little couple day event. Then we have this first system right here. This system could provide severe weather potential. We'll have to see. And moves off. Then we have a big time system that blows up and goes nuts. This is when we're probably going to see a pretty big time severe weather setup come and happen. I mean, I'm just going to look at a sounding for fun here in Eastern Illinois, and that's not bad at all. But, looking at stuff for fun here, this is probably going to be a significant event if this happens like the GFS shows it. A really nice trough, we can get another trough, and bang. I'm gonna have fun looking at this from the 500 millibar perspective, I feel like. So we're going to do that. Okay. Here is the 500 millibar perspective. Off the GFS. Here's your shortwave that's going to provide the severe weather threat in Texas on Monday. Nice trough. And I'm bringing it down there. Then your isolated severe event on Tuesday as well. Looks like a cutoff low at that point. And moves off. And then we could see a severe event with this. Let me stop it right here, because I have not been looking at the long-range GFS much. So I'm just going to see if there's enough moisture to get a severe weather event with this thing. Okay. Maybe a nice cold core event. Up into Oklahoma there. Maybe eastern Texas. I don't know. This doesn't look great for severe weather overall. That's not great. Not very good. Kind of looks like that system is kind of trashed, to be honest with you, because the moisture kind of gets eroded from the Gulf from that previous system that's out in the eastern Atlantic at that point. Well, let's go to this point. We see the Gulf really gets opened up, and we see the moisture really start to flood in, and then 18Z in Texas, bang. Wow. I'm just going to take soundings. Don't really take them for granted, because these are probably going to change a lot over the next few days, but wow. I mean, dang, bro. 68 dew points. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, if this happened, this would be impressive for the time of year that we're in, but I don't think it's going to happen like this. Not like the GFS is showing it. I mean, that's a really nice surface low. I mean, that trough is just screaming. Look at that trough. That is a classic severe weather, high-end severe weather type scenario for the plains. I'm just gonna take a box sounding over the LLJ. Oh my gosh, that is that is pretty impressive if that actually happened. I mean, that photograph is just like a perfect shape. I mean, if that ended up happening, that would be pretty big. I mean, the photograph is the perfect shape for like everything to kind of go nuts. That's just really cool. Nice one, Texas. I'm just gonna take another individual sounding. Oh my gosh. I mean, everything's just nuts with this system. If this happened, I mean, up and down the plains, I mean, a huge dry line. You have surface-based cape over 2,000 everywhere. Like, this is just your crazy severe weather scenario that would bring you a nice tornado outbreak to the plains if you're like that, if you're that type of person who loves those tornado outbreaks over the plains. 18Z the next day brings me a nice severe weather event. I'm just gonna take a sounding for the heck of it. That's not bad. If that happened. I mean, this is like really solid warm sector stuff here. I mean, 0Z kind of is taken down. Let me check out the 0Z Euro. Do we have anything like this on the Euro? And we do. Holy crap. We do. Wow. Okay. Let me just take a sounding here. Oh yeah. Okay. So, sorry for going a little bit crazy there, but wow, these profiles are so similar to the GFS. It's just the warm sector's a little bit smaller and the placement's not as crisp. See, is the trough any different? No, that trough is not different. Okay. Um, so yeah, I will say we will probably have a significant severe weather event if this does not change at around 240. Can check the Canadian real quick. Dude, this agreement is nuts. What? You do not see agreement like this every day of the week. That is rare. The Canadian has this being a little bit later, but holy crap. This agreement this far out is nuts. So yeah, that's just kind of gonna wrap it up here. Um, we will probably have a video out kind of describing this long range pattern because it looks pretty significant. And we'll just take a look at the GEFS really quickly here and kind of look at what it has to say. And I mean, that's not bad. We'll take a look at the 300 millibar streamlines here. What is this gonna have to say? Dude, that's a big time trough. Jeez. Big time. But yeah, that's probably gonna do it here. Thank y'all for tuning into this one. Make sure to be safe if you're kind of getting affected by this Florida severe weather event right now and the North Carolina event, and be sure to kind of watch out for the next few days. Maybe some significant severe weather happens in your area. If it does, make sure to kind of take all precautions, get your severe weather plans ready, and yeah.